Alright guys, welcome back to All Things Outdoors. Today we're out here at Black Walnut Creek and I caught a couple crabs. I'll show you them. Look at all the little fish in the water. There are little minnows that they're pretty common around here. Anyway, this is the creek. It's summertime. As you can see, all our reeds have got blooms on them now, which is cool. But anyway, now it's time to talk about what this video is about. So here you have two crabs, and I am gonna hold them. But anyway, there's something different about these crabs. It's not like other crabs. These are not normal crabs. You may be wondering why I'm just holding them and I'm not worried about them pinching me. That's because these crabs are soft shells. And that means that, and basically soft shell means that the crab here, as you can see, he's not hard. He has a soft shell. And that happens because after they molt, when they lose their old shell, they molt to grow. And when they molt, they lose their old shell, and then there's a new one underneath, and that's their new shell. But when they come out of their old shell, the new shell is soft. And it takes around a day and a half, 2 days, 1 to 2 days for the shell to harden, depending on the size of the crab. And this is a smaller crab, so its shell will probably take not too long. It'll maybe harden in a day and a half around that time. But really big crabs can take up to 2 days to fully harden. And when they're soft, they hide under rocks, and they hide in mud and in holes that they make. And they hide in basically they find a good spot to hide while their shell hardens, because while they're soft, they are very vulnerable to predators. Things can eat them, and in fact, other crabs will actually go after soft-shelled crabs to eat them. He's in the seaweed hiding. See him? They use anything that they can to camouflage when they're molting. Oh, look at all those little fish. So many fish. But anyway, you have two crabs, and these blue crabs are very important to the bay, and they are an important predator, as they are they're predators to many small fish species. Like they eat eels, fish, other crabs. They especially like to eat other soft-shell crabs, and they like they're an opportunistic feeder. They basically will eat whatever they can find, and sometimes they do actually eat dead things, but they don't eat recently dead things. They only eat They don't eat like things that have been dead for a while. They only eat things that have been dead for only a short period of time. But usually they only eat. Usually they kill their prey, but they only are scavengers if there's very little food. But anyway, the crab is this is the blue crab, and they are native to Chesapeake Bay. They live in like North Carolina, Virginia. They live basically on a pretty good part of the East Coast, offshore of the East Coast. And they get to be, I don't know, they get to be pretty big. I think they can be up to like 8 inches wide from the point of one claw to the point of the other claw. So they're really big. But anyway, as you can see, these are around medium size. They aren't huge. They are not edible. Like, they're not like market-sized crabs yet. And this is another soft shell that we found. Whoop. He's a soft shell too. As you can see, he only has 1 claw. And that means that another crab probably ate his other claw. And when you're holding soft shells, it's very important to support the claws, because the claws can easily fall off or break and become damaged. So it's very important to support the claw. But because the claw is their main way how they get food, if a crab loses both claws, it can actually be fatal for them. But usually they can actually regenerate claws. And when they molt, they have they have a completely new set of claws and a completely new set of gills. And this is a pretty big one, and this is a male, and you can tell that because see how blue his claw is on the inside? The females don't have quite as blue of a claw. The females are more of a whiter claw on the inside, and then there's red on the tips. I think both of them are males, but you can also look, if you flip them over, sure isn't really a good way to do this, but anyway, only do this for a short period of time so we don't hurt him. But anyway, as you can see how this is a kind of a point, a very sharp point on the end. That's how you can tell if it's a male. The females, this one might be a female. Nope, it's a male as well. But the females have just a regular old triangle. And these do regenerate claws, which is really cool. But anyway, these are a very important predator, and they're also a food species for many other animals. Humans eat them, other crabs eat them, certain bird species eat them when they're little. You're not escaping. And many other animals can eat them as well. So they're very important. And their favorite habitat is the seagrass bed, which are kind of rare in the bay, in this area of the bay, because a lot of them were killed off because when people ate all the oysters, they become, oh, there's a crab there, actually. Do not see him. We're gonna see if we can get him. He's right in there. Let me get the net so we can catch it. Anyways, you can see he's right under there. Whoa. Whoa. There he goes. Yeah, he's gone. Oh well. But yeah, anyway, they are very important to the bay ecosystem. And we're gonna actually go look for some crabs real quick. Not too long time, very short time, because I want to continue talking to you guys about the crabs. But they are fairly common around in the bay. Well, here they're fairly common. I guess it's different amounts of them depending on where you go. Found them in Ocracoke. I found crabs in Ocracoke, blue crabs, but they're not quite as common, at least not in the area that I went to. In Ocracoke, there might be more of them other places, but there weren't a whole lot of crabs, at least not a whole lot of blue crabs. There were plenty of hermit crabs. Be sure to check that video out. See if there's any crabs in here real quick. There aren't any. Well, we're gonna go back to the pool. They built with the crabs in it. Yeah, but anyway, when people ate a lot of the oysters and two diseases came through, so basically when most of the oyster population died out, the crabs, it became murkier in the bay, and also that part of it is from the boats. But anyway, so now the water is a bit there's quite a bit murkier, and that makes it harder for the seagrass to grow because the seagrass needs sun, and the murky water blocks the sun. But luckily grass beds are coming back, so that's good. But anyway, grass beds are the preferred habitat for these blue crabs here. It's pretty cool. And the blue crabs are, I'm pretty sure, the largest crab species here in this part of the bay. Yeah, they are the largest crab species in this part of the bay. There is mud crabs and marsh crabs, but those are pretty little. They're only like an inch long at the biggest. But anyway, these guys can live very long time, and they lay eggs near the mouth of the bay. So the females, when they reach the end of their lifespan, they'll go all the way to the mouth of the bay where it connects to the ocean to lay eggs. It's really cool. I don't know what they do when they're not in the bay, but and they lay their eggs in the grass beds, and then they come out. And it's very important that we conserve the crabs and don't eat all of the crabs so that we have crabs for a long time in the future. But crabs are also very important to humans because a lot of the economy in watermen towns with lots of watermen and fishing towns and all that kind of places, they kind of revolve around crabs and fishing, so it's also important for them, but it's important to keep the crabs in good, healthy condition. But anyway, that's going to be about all for today's video. And actually, wait, there's another thing I have to tell you. So these crabs can also, when they molt, when they turn soft, they are actually one of the only, actually no, that wasn't it, I already told you about that. But anyway, the state crustacean of Maryland is actually the blue crab, and Maryland is one of the few states that have a state crustacean. I think Maine might, but I'm not sure. If Maine does, it's probably the lobster, but I'm not completely sure. But anyway, that's going to be about all for today's video, so be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Be sure to put that down in the comments below saying that you did that for a shout out. And we will see you guys on the next adventure. It's so pretty out here.